Off the top tonight, jurors will begin deliberating this coming week in former President Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial. This comes as both the prosecution and the defense told Judge Juan Marchand they rest their case. Trump's fate is almost in the hands of 12 New Yorkers who have spent the past 5 weeks hearing evidence about whether he falsified business records to cover up a sex scandal just before the 2016 election. On Tuesday, jurors will hear closing arguments, and Judge Marchand will then instruct the jury on the law before they begin their deliberations, which could happen as early as Wednesday. And there were also some fireworks in the courtroom this week as defense witness Bob Costello took the stand. Michael Cohen suggested during his testimony that Costello was part of a pressure campaign to keep Cohen loyal to Trump even after the FBI raided Cohen's apartment, office, and hotel room in April 2018. Cohen said Costello offered a, quote, a back channel to communicate with Trump through Rudy Giuliani when Trump was in the White House. In an email to Cohen after the FBI raid, Costello wrote, quote, sleep well tonight. You have friends in high places. On the witness stand, Costello continued speaking at times even after the judge had sustained multiple objections. Costello would mutter under his breath and at one point could be heard saying geez into the microphone. Marchand asked the jury to leave the room so he could admonish Costello for his behavior. Then Costello appeared to be staring at the judge.
That would have been the end of it. And just as Marchand was going to get the jury back, Costello was still looking at him. And you heard Marchand say, are you staring me down? And it was truly remarkable, Kira. A furious Marchand said, clear the courtroom. And all of the press was brought out. Donald Trump, of course, stayed.
Costello finished his testimony Tuesday, and the judge dismissed the jury for a week until closing arguments on Tuesday. Some former prosecutors I spoke to said that week-long break is not great for the prosecution. They've just spent 5 weeks submitting evidence, putting up witnesses, and this downtime could allow that reasonable doubt to fester. But not everyone agrees.
From the outside, I think that it doesn't help one side over the other or hurt one side over the other. I think that this jury, as I understand it, has been very attentive, and they will let things marinate until they get their instructions, I guess.
And as we predicted here on the show, Trump also chose not to testify, despite originally saying that he planned to take the stand. As we previewed for you, his decision to take the stand would have had consequences, like allowing prosecutors to tell the jury about another New York jury that said Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in the 90s and then defamed her. Trump was asked why he changed his mind.
Yeah, because he made rulings that makes it very difficult to testify. Anything I did in the past, they can bring everything up. And you know what? I've had a great past, but anything. But the other thing is, and the main reason, and I don't even mind that. In fact, I like talking about it because we had rigged cases. New York is out of control, and they can solve it with a good appellate.
Meantime, while Trump waits in New York, we also learned this week that Trump's attorneys found the classified documents in his Mar-a-Lago bedroom months after the FBI searched his home. Newly unsealed court documents show Trump's team turned those records over to the FBI back in January 2023 in response to a subpoena. And a reminder, Trump is being charged with the unauthorized retention of national defense information. And Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump appointee who's overseeing the case, has postponed trial indefinitely. Meantime, Trump ally Rudy Giuliani got served with an indictment last week after dodging Arizona authorities who had been trying to find him for weeks. Giuliani's facing charges in Arizona for efforts to overturn the 2020 election. He took to X to goad state officials, saying, quote, if Arizona authorities can't find me by tomorrow morning, they must dismiss the indictment and they must concede that they can't count votes. But it turns out it wasn't that hard to find him after he live streamed his 80th birthday party in Florida.
We found him essentially through his live streams. He's not that hard to find, and so we did that, and our agents professionally served him after his birthday party as the party was winding down and as he himself was leaving the house that he was in. We gave him a copy of the papers, and he went along his way.
Giuliani pleaded not guilty in Phoenix on Friday and is charged alongside 17 others for conspiring to overturn the 2020 election results in Arizona.